On the island of La Palma, rivers of molten rock are swallowing up people's lives and homes. The Cumbre Vieja volcano began erupting over the weekend, sending slow-moving tendrils of lava through communities, incinerating everything they touched. Today, those eruptions took a more violent turn, with smaller but more intense explosions. I feel like crying. Families have lost everything. There's a pain in my stomach I can't explain, said this distraught jewelry shop owner. Clouds of searing ash, molten debris, and the lava too, of course, are all dangers, but scientists are also on alert for dangerous gases, such as carbon dioxide. For now, the worst of the sulfur and CO2 remains near the crater's summit, 3,000 meters up, said the emergency response director. But what if all that lava reaches the ocean, as could happen within days or even hours, depending on its speed? It took out the swimming pool the other day, vaporizing the water inside instantly.
You can imagine throwing water onto a frying pan. The water just flashes to steam. And so this is what happens when lavas, which are at, in this case, probably 900 to 1,000 degrees Celsius, enter the ocean. It flashes that water, that ocean water, to steam, and it creates what's called volcanic fog.
That would become yet another toxic danger for those on the island.
As soon as you evaporate seawater, it's very chlorine rich, that's why it's very salty. And all that going into the atmosphere produces hydrogen chloride, HCl, which is a strong acid.
6,000 of La Palma's 80,000 residents are already out of their homes and may not go back for a long time. Chris Brown, CBC News, Glasgow.
Okay, so that's the situation on the ground, but what happens next? Well, CBC News meteorologist Johanna Wagstaff is here with a look at some possible outcomes. So, Jo, where could things go?
Well, Andrew, we do have a lot of clues to tell us what's happening underneath the volcano, the plumbing, so to speak. Because this is a known active volcano, we have a huge array of scientific instruments already in place. And one of our biggest clues, earthquake. Yesterday, we saw an increase in the seismic activity in those monitoring stations around the volcano. That told us today we were going to see more explosive activity. And indeed, the intensity of the explosions has really ramped up in the past 24 hours. We're also noticing how the land actually deforms around the volcano. And due to heat sensors, there's a lot of magma still at play underground. We're also monitoring the sulfur dioxide, and satellites are monitoring the actual track of that lava as it makes its way down to the ocean. So, Andrew, all of these tools telling us this volcano is not stopping anytime soon.
And can I ask you just on that last point there? I mean, we heard a moment ago, Chris mentioned this fear, right, of what happens when the lava does meet the sea. So, do we have any sense of when that might happen?
Yeah, still an ever-changing situation, highly volatile, but we know because of those satellites, this lava stream is about 600 meters wide and moving at about 4 meters an hour. So likely still well over a day before that lava hits the ocean and we get that chemical reaction. But scientists are surprised with how much magma this volcano is producing, much more than previous eruptions. At least we know that we will get a couple hours notice at the very minimum before it hits the water.
Okay, Johanna Wagstaff, thank you so much.
You're welcome.